Many people looking to buy a condo have their list of wants and needs, but one tough decision that could be a deal breaker for many is the issue of parking spots.
That's so true. And joining us right now for a look at what's taking shape in the real estate and parking spot situation is Sandra Rimanato, a broker of record at Royal LePage Equity Rimanato. Sandra, it's great to have you here in person.
Thank you.
Good to meet you. This is really an interesting situation here about the parking spots in Toronto. I remember when I bought a condo here, it came with a spot. It was valued at, I can't remember what it was right now, but it seems parking spots are at even more of a premium right now. What's going on?
Okay. Parking's been a problem in Toronto for a long time with condominium builds. So there used to be a bylaw in Toronto where builders were required to provide 0.6 parking spots per condo unit. So that's less than one, right?
Yeah.
So if you had 100 units, you had 60 spots. So a little bit of musical chairs there. So then what you would find is like studios and one bedrooms didn't even have the opportunity to purchase a spot unless there was a surplus, which never happens, right? So now that's gone. So now it's completely up to the builders how many spots they want to build, if any. And so let's just get into the builder's mindset here. Like, it's really expensive to build underground parking. And it's a time delay for them to start building the actual condo homes, right?
Because you got to start at the bottom and work
Going
your way
down
up,
and
right?
work your way up, right? So if they don't have to build them, if they can sell their product without having to build too many parking spots, they're happier, right? I mean, it's a problem for buyers. You look at a penthouse, let's say, or a 2+1, 2-bedroom plus den, they might want 2 parking spots. People are still dependent on cars, but you know, then you're faced with the option, do I pay for the parking? I mean, they could be, maybe when you bought, I don't know how long ago, 50 grand, they're like 100 grand, 80 grand, depends where you buy.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. So should you forego the parking, get rid of your car or not get a car, and put that money towards your home purchase? So maybe you actually are able to buy a house, or sorry, a condo now, you know what I'm saying? Now, this is really gonna affect purpose-built apartments, right? Rentals. I mean, I'm not sure that there's going to be any parking available.
Right.
But you know what's interesting? Like, we're out in High Park, and there are condos there right along the Bloor subway line. And when you are renting out a condo there, they're still looking for parking a lot of the time. So we haven't learned to leave our cars.
There's demand.
Yes.
Yeah, there is demand. So what do you foresee that's going to mean for the future of kind of condos? I mean, I guess you illustrated that. People are going to be saying, hey, would I rather have a house instead? Now, adding to this problem, is there a situation where people out there in the market are like, I want to buy a parking spot, and that's taking up some of the real estate from people who might be entering, you know, let's say a condo?
So if you can only buy a parking spot if you are an owner in that building.
If you are an owner.
Yeah.
So someone could sell out their parking spot to someone who wants to buy it.
You could sell it if it's deeded. It could be deeded or exclusive use. Most of them are deeded, and over the last several years, I've seen mostly deeded. So you can sell it or you can rent it out. And actually, even if you're a tenant renting that particular apartment condo, you can rent out your spot as long as it's not prohibited in your lease, right? But the problem with that, sorry to interrupt, the problem with that is you don't know how long you're going to have that spot if you're renting from somebody who's either going to sell their condo or they're just a tenant and they're going to move on after a year.
So, Sandra, it sounds to me like potentially parking spots are a kind of red-hot investment as much as real estate. Like, if you can get your hands on one, even if you don't have a car, just to rent it out, yes or no? Because my parking's just gone up $50 a month at the building I'm in.
So, yeah. So, well, you know what's also interesting is they're also charging now for visitors parking, right? This is how
that's
big it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the question is, what's your return on investment if you have to pay 90 grand for a parking spot? How much are you getting per month? How many years do you amortize that? When will it be profitable?
True.
Or should you take that 100 and roll it into, you know, an investment property? I don't know. There's a lot of models out there. If you own condos in the building, you want to buy a ton of parking spots if you're allowed to. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, the scarcity is becoming more and more an issue.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially in the downtown area, but this is also geographical, because if you go out to places around the GTA, you know, people there are kind of reliant on cars, especially if they're traveling for work. So it's almost, you know, a prerequisite or require, like, you're going to want to build a condo with parking.
And in Mississauga, they still have a minimum requirement.
Okay.
So that's good news for Mississauga.
Sandra, good to talk to you today. Thanks so much for helping break this down. Appreciate this.